Good evening, Purple family. Welcome to another episode of Shades of Purple, a Prince podcast. So, you guys, I know it has been a little minute, but as they like to say, life has been lifing. So, I am starting a new series for the podcast called Purple Songs Origin Stories. So, basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be picking out some of my favorite songs and talking about the origin, how the songs began, what are some of the background stories about the song, and, so forth and so forth. So all the people that were involved in its creation, other than Prince, of course, and just talking about, maybe what was going on in Prince's personal life at the time that he made some of these songs, and just kind of see what we can discover about, Prince's mindset at the time. So I took a poll about a week ago on the Facebook page, and two songs actually tied. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad off of the Prince album, and Little Red Corvette, which was, of course, on 1999. So on this episode, I'm going to be talking about the origins of the song Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. And then next week, we'll get into some of the origins behind Little Red Corvette. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So I've got the lyrics, and I've also got some information from the Prince Vault. And I've also got a blurb that I'm going to read from the book Prince, All the Songs, the Story Behind Every Track by Benoit Cleric. I think that's how you say his name. So it's a really big book, and I really haven't had the chance to really go through it, but it supposedly has all of Prince's songs, and it's a huge, huge book. It kind of reminds me of Dwayne Tudor's books that he has done about Prince during the Purple Rain era and during the Sign of the Times era, listing all of the times that he was at Sunset Sound and did all his recording of tracks there at that particular location in Los Angeles. So it's kind of similar to that, but bigger, because it goes through like every single song on every single album and just talks about it. But because he has so many songs, it only has like a little, just like a little paragraph about the song. So I'm gonna start off by looking at the Prince Vault and what the Prince Vault had to say about the song. So Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad is the second track on Prince's second album, Prince. And 4 months after the album's release, Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad was released as the album's second single, and it was released in the US and in New Zealand. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad was also the B-side of Prince's first single to be released in Germany, I Want to Be Your Lover. In 1993, the track was included as the fifth track on Prince's first compilation album, The Hits 1, also included as the first disc of The Hits, the B-sides. In 2009, a rehearsal version titled Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad was streamed on the website of drfunkenberry.com. a day after it was recorded on the 21st of September 2009 and streamed on the 22nd of September 2009. It was offered as an MP3 download for members of the LotusFlower3r.com the following month. While specific recording dates for the studio version are not known, the album session took place from late April to late May 1979 at Alpha Studios in Burbank, California. Overdubs and mixing took place at Hollywood Sound Recorders in Los Angeles, California. So that's just the basic information about it. And of course, Prince did all the vocals and instruments except where noted. Andre Cymone did a vocal harmony that went uncredited. And we're going to find out that uncredited was part of the reason that the rift between Andre and Prince would grow. Now, we've heard the story about Do Me Baby and the fact that Andre Cymone supposedly wrote that song, and that Prince just took the song and I think redid some of the lyrics and some of the music and just put it on the Controversy album. So when we get to talking about the song Do Me Maybe, we'll probably get into some of that. But I'm learning now that actually it started with an earlier song. This particular song, Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, is probably the beginning of the rift that Prince and Andre would experience as friends and as fellow musicians. So let's see what else we can learn about it. I'm just going to look over It was performed regularly on the Prince tour, the Rick James tour that he did with Rick James, and the Dirty Mind tour. So, and also, of course, now the video with his Farrah Fawcett hair is on YouTube. So if you've never checked out the video for Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, I might go ahead and put it up on the Facebook page, but there is a video for it as well. And I actually looked up the Wikipedia page about the YouTube video, so we'll get into that. So I'm trying to see if there's any more little tidbits we can get about it. Okay, so the first and last live appearance of this song, the first one was in August 1979 at the Leeds Rehearsal Facility in North Hollywood, California. And it was also sang at the Roxy in 1979 in November. And the last time was in November 7th of 2010 in Brussels, Belgium. Okay, so going on to the video where he looked absolutely beautiful with, like I said, with his Farrah Fawcett hair. When I say body on top of body he had, oh my goodness. So of note for the video, this was the only appearance of Gail Chapman in a Prince video. She also appears in the unreleased version of the I Want to Be Your Lover video, because you guys do know that there are two versions of the I Want to Be Your Lover video. It's the one where, you know, it's Prince by himself playing on the instruments, but there's also another one that's not as, it's also on YouTube as well, but it's not as well known, of him with the whole band doing not Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, but I Want to Be Your Lover. So I'll probably put that up on the Facebook page as well, even though we're not talking about that song in particular. But they did two videos for I Want to Be Your Lover. They only did one for Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, but you do see in the video that Gail Chapman, she's on the keyboard and she does like this cute little hair flip when they zoom on her. And of course, Gail Chapman will be replaced on keyboards by Lisa Coleman. And I'm not too sure exactly how long after the video that she was, you know, when I say replaced, she pretty much left because she, you know, she had some religious beliefs that were contrary to some of Prince's more spicier lyrics. And so she left in good faith. And, but Gail said that, you know, after she left, she never really, you know, got the chance to talk to Prince again. But Lisa came in to replace Gail Chapman on keyboards. So let's see. It says it was released, you know, as a single, as we know, and it was broadcast to promote the single. So of course, music videos are done to promote the single. So nothing new there. It was commercially released on video or DVD back in 2017, and I'm guessing that's the date, that July 14, 2017. That's the date that they probably put it on YouTube, I would think. Let's see. Yeah, it was actually released for sale as a separate track on iTunes in 2017. So I did not know that. The video features Prince playing his I think I'm saying that right, ORR guitar, named after its luthier Charlie Orr, an instrument rarely seen during his concert. It was also used in I Want to Be Your Lover band version video, in I Like It There video. It's been included in a lot of guitars suspended above the band. The video also features a Knut Kupe cloud bass guitar named after Knut Kupe music store, played by Andre Simone. And so this was the bass that would be the, kind of the design that would be Prince's cloud guitar, from what I understand. And it's also, this guitar would also appear in I Want to Be Your Lover band version and The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, played by Sonny T. So this particular guitar that Andre Simone had kind of had like its own little life of its own, in a matter of speaking. So there's that. So now in the book, I guess you want to say, I think it's a French name. I believe Bernard Cleric. This is what I'm just going to read it because it's like a little paragraph about why you want to treat me so bad. So it says on musicians, Prince, he's on vocals, electric guitar, bass, drum, synthesizers, Horner, clavet, backing vocals, Andre Simone, backing vocals, recording Alpha Studios Burbank, end of April to the 13th of June, 1979. The technical team, producer, Prince, recording engineers was Gary Brandt, Alpha Studios, Bob Moakler, Hollywood Sound Studios, and assistant recording engineer was Mark Ettel of Alpha Studios. Okay, so best chart ranking in the U.S. It did not make the charts, unfortunately, which is a crime. I mean, it's a really, really great song. It's a banger of a song, and I hate that it didn't chart. But this is what this little paragraph about it in the book. Having first touched on it with "I'm Yours," Prince attempted a fusion of disco with FM rock sounds in "Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad." He succeeded in blending two musical styles regarded as contradictory with panache, producing a high-quality song that was released as a single in the U.S. and New Zealand. The only breach of the singer's self-imposed rule was that Andre Simone appeared in a discreet backing vocal in the chorus. The bass player, a childhood friend of Prince's, had wanted to break free of the artistic dictatorship imposed by the young star for some time. The omission of his name from the record's credits caused an inevitable split between them. He sang a small harmony part that you really couldn't hear, Prince explained. There was a typo on the record, and Andre didn't get any credit. That's how the whole thing started. I tried to explain that to him, but when you're on the way up, there's no explaining too much of anything. People will think what they want to. And so this kind of started the rift that would continue to spread by the time that Prince pretty much, like I said, took Do Me Baby and made it his own. But this was the start with Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. So Andre Simone had a soft, I guess you could call it, vocal, and it didn't, for whatever reason, it went uncredited, and you really couldn't, because I really couldn't, I don't know, I have to go back and listen to it, but maybe you can hear the backing vocal a little bit from Andre. And I mean, I don't blame Andre for being upset about it. I mean, I think anybody would. I mean, anybody would want to be credited with whatever on any type of musical track whatsoever. And Prince wasn't always the best about giving his people their credit. He kind of had a history of not giving people credit for, helping him with, harmonies or, lyrics or anything like that. So this is kind of believable for me, even though Prince may have been correct in saying that maybe it was, a typo and it was a mistake and, it was really not on him, so-called. But Andre wasn't trying to hear that. And I don't blame Andre for not trying to hear that. So let's look at the lyrics now for Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, because at this time is 1979, 1980. And I believe at this time, if I am correct, that he is still probably with Kim Upshur, which was kind of like his almost like his high school sweetheart, but I don't really know if they met while they were in high school, but maybe so, because she is mentioned in Brown Mark's book as she was a waitress working at the same like pancake house that he was working at, and he referred to Kim Upshur as Prince's girlfriend. So, and this was in the around the same time, around the beginning of the 80s, late 70s. Because this record came out, I believe, in October of 1979. So he was still with Kim Upshur. But he was also, with this new record, with this second album, he was starting to be, more well-known. He was probably attracting more attention of the female type. And he had said in an interview maybe 1 or 2 years after this that his song "It's Gonna Be Lonely" was based on Kim Upshur, and the fact that she was having difficulty with his rising star, and the fact that he was attracting so much female attention. And so I think that this might have been another song where, he may be referring to Kim in a way that she is really starting to be kind of fed up and off-putting with maybe Prince's, rising star, and the fact that he might be getting kind of the big head in this situation. Because let's look at the lyrics. So he said, "There's some talk going around town that you really don't give a damn. They say you really put me down when I've been doing the best I can." So to me, that sounds like he's saying, okay, so people have been saying that you want to be done with me, that you don't give a damn because, I'm getting the big head, but, I've been doing the best I can. I'm out here trying to build my career, but yet you're saying that I'm not doing enough for you. And he said, "I gave you all of my love. I gave you my body. Tell me, baby, ain't that enough?" Apparently it's not, Prince, because if you out here giving your body to her, she might assume you might be giving your body to some other people too. So but that's not expressly, implied in the lyrics. But I mean, we really don't know where Kim's mind was at this time. Now, I do know by 1980, which is when Dirty Mind came out, that they were definitely together at that time. As a matter of fact, Lisa Coleman was actually staying with Kim Upshur. And by this time, Lisa was, of course, a band member. And so they had, I don't know when they started dating, but I do know that they were together, in the 79, 80, maybe all the way up until even 81, possibly. And if you've listened to one of my other episodes where I talked about Prince's love life in the 80s, I think there was definitely some overlap with Kim Upshur and Susan Musi, as we know that he also dated her. And she would, of course, be a member of Vanity Six and Apollonia Six much later. But he also knew Susan from school, I believe. Well, no, not from school, because she said they met actually in a club, I thought. That's what it said on Wikipedia. But then on her podcast interview that she did with Apollonia on Apollonia's podcast, she said that they did meet at a club. So I can't remember exactly where she said that they met. But anyway, but there was some overlap with Susan Musi as well at this time. So he may have even been, dating both of them at the same time, which wouldn't surprise me because he often did that a lot, especially when he was younger. But going back to the lyrics, so what more do you want me to do? I played the fool when we're together, but cry when we're apart. Yeah, I could do it no better. Don't break what's left of my broken heart, baby. So this making me feel like really she feels like she's playing the fool. But Prince always has it bad in his lyrics, making himself out to be the victim. But really, he's the one that's doing the victimizing. But maybe he's trying to see it from her perspective. So let's think about it. Let's play a little devil's advocate. So maybe he is writing from her perspective, that I think that's definitely possible. So, and then the second, the chorus says, "Why you want to treat me so bad when you know I love you? How can you do this to me when you know I care? Why you want to treat me so bad when you know I love you?" So he may be looking at this, now that I'm really thinking about it, it's possible because Prince really, admired women. He loved to kind of almost think like a woman at times. So to me, it does seem to make sense that maybe he's looking at this from maybe Kim's perspective and seeing, she sees her man who's, on the rise. He's about to be this big rock star. And she's kind of feeling like, okay, why are you treating me this way? Like, I don't really matter. Like, I'm just here for a good time, but not a long time, that type of thing. So going back to the second verse, he says, I try so hard to keep you satisfied. Sometimes you play the part. Sometimes you're so full of pride. And if it's still good to you, why you want to treat me so bad? You used to love it when I do you. You used to say I was the best you ever had. And then he says, I played the fool when we together. I give you everything I can. Yeah. And if it's still good to you, there's something that I can't understand. So now he's saying, look, I give you what you want. I do the best that I can. I give you good sex. Like, you say I'm the best you ever had. What's the problem? So now he's kind of going back to his perspective on things. Like, I satisfy you. I please you. I try to get you what you want, but you are so prideful. You're the one that has an ego issue, not me. And so finally he says, they go back to the chorus, why you want to treat me so bad when you know I love you? How can you do this to me when you know I care? Why you want to treat me so bad? I love you. So and this is just me, like I said, this is just basically just me speculating. So, I mean, you can take it with a grain of salt, but I really feel like, I think that it is just him going back and forth between him and Kim Upshur and just talking about, where they are in their relationship at this point. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think is the real backstory? Because we know that, and not just Prince, but, songwriters in general take their ideas for songs from their own lives. And not only just their lives, of course, but the experience of people that they know, their loved ones, people around them. But most importantly, it's from their own lived experiences. So for me, I think that there might be a little validity in this, and that he might be talking about Kim and maybe how she feels about his rising star and how it's affecting her. And then he is talking about how he feels about her and how he feels that she is not, like she's not grateful. That he's trying to do what he can and be there for her and love her and give her the things that she needs, but it's not enough for her. Her pride and her ego is getting in the way, and she is probably, suspecting that she's gonna, be losing him. He's not gonna be the same person because of this, because of his career. So I don't know. What do you guys think? And also, what do you guys think also about the rift between the starting of the rift between Prince and Andre Cymone over this particular song, and the fact that he was not given proper credit for his background vocals? And I just, and being that they were such close childhood friends, you would think that Prince would maybe have tried, a little harder to make sure that, things were credited properly, especially for Andre, because, I mean, he stayed at Andre Cymone's house. His mother, Andre's mother, Miss Bernadette, would play a very important role in Prince's development, because after he left his mother's house and he got kicked out from his father's house, he stayed with Andre Cymone for several years, him and his family. And they already had like 5 or 6 kids staying there in addition to Andre. And so Miss Bernadette allowing Prince to stay there was like a really big deal, I think. And the fact that, Miss Bernadette nurtured him and was just like a second mother to him. And so because of this, you would think that Prince would try to be a little bit more try to really, kind of stand up for his guy and, make sure that, the credit was given where it was earned. But then again, Prince at this beginning stage, he may have been a little bit more hands-off when it comes to the business era of the business side of the music, because he really didn't, he wasn't as well, versed at the time when how business is done as far as who gets credit for what and how, because a lot of that can get really, really complicated, because you'll have people that they do one little riff and they want, a big piece of the royalties and all this. So, so it can get really, really complicated. And so maybe Prince is just like, look, man, I just want to do the music. Like, I'm not, I'm not really worried. I mean, of course he cared about his own royalties and publishing, obviously. But when it came to maybe giving other people credit, he just wasn't exactly sure, how to divide all that up. And I'm not trying to give Prince an excuse or a way out. I'm just saying that maybe that's where his mind was. But, who knows? So with that being said, I think this is probably going to be the end of this episode, because it's not as now Little Red Corvette will have more to talk about with that particular song, because that particular song has at least 2 origin stories that I know of. So that episode will be a little bit longer than this one. But I just wanted to get your all's feedback on what do you think about Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. Like I said, I'm going to put the video up on the channel. Not on the channel, I'm sorry, on the Facebook page. And so for any reason, if you've just been living under a rock and you haven't seen the video, please please check it out. And one of my favorite things about this song before I end the episode is the wonderful guitar solo. I mean, it's probably one of my favorites of Prince's in his whole catalog. And it's a really good one. And it just seems to go on forever. And they performed it quite a bit doing Dirty Mind and the Prince tour and on tour with Rick James. And like Prince would get in the middle, and then Andre Simone and then Des Dickerson would come up, and they would be like this threesome. That's probably not the best word, but you get what I'm saying. And they would just all play their guitars at the same time when they were during the live performances, and that was pretty cool. So check it out if you haven't. Prince and all of his Farrah Fawcett hair loveliness on the video there. And so, like I said, let me know what you guys think about not only this episode, but all of the other episodes that you've had a chance to listen to on the podcast. So I'm going to probably be slowing down a little bit with the podcast because I've got so much stuff going on in my personal life right now that I'm not able to really do as many episodes as I would like to do. But I'm going to try to do at least one a month, but at the minimum. But I might try to do maybe more than that. With the Little Red Corvette episode that I got coming out next week, I should be able to knock that out next week, hopefully. But you guys just continue to pray for me and pray for my family. My daughter in particular as well. She's kind of going through some growing pains right now. So it's just got my mind kind of focused on family right now. But I'm still here for you guys as always. So just hit me up and let me know what you want to hear, what you want me to research about Prince. I'm still willing to do that. And I would still like to, invite people on to the podcast. If you would like to come on and, talk about Prince and your experiences with his music, and, we can just have a conversation. I am so down for that. So let me know if you know anybody who might be interested and wanting to be on the podcast. I would love to have you. So with that being said, peace and be wild, and may you live to see the dawn. Bye.